Hello, fourth grade. It's Miss Kovarik with Science Lesson 15. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great day so far. We are going to continue learning about weather, and we're going to start talking about how to read and how to use those weather maps and charts that we see on the news or online or anytime we go to look up the weather. So let's go over our slideshow first. All right. So what do weather maps do? We're talking about the actual maps now. So this is an example of one. It'll typically show the area that it's covering. So whether that's a state or part of a state or a country or the world, it shows the weather over a part of Earth's surface. It helps meteorologists, and remember those are the scientists that study and report weather to us. It helps them forecast the weather because first of all, they can use it to see what the weather is. And then secondly, they can use it as a visual to show people like us what the weather will be like on the news or online. So it's a good tool for them to use. And it shows what the weather is like at a certain time. Remember, weather can change all the time. We could be outside at recess, it could be nice and sunny out, and then all of a sudden it starts to rain. Weather is a time by time type of thing. So this weather map does not stay accurate for too long because before you know it, the weather is going to change. Weather charts are typically like numbers that are shown in a chart format. So these show trends, and trends are like what is happening throughout time. Over a certain period of time. So in this specific chart, it tells us from December to March what the average temperatures were. And these can talk about temperature like this one does. It can tell us precipitation. It can tell us lots of different things about weather. It can tell us the wind speed. Really anything that is about weather, charts can tell you about. When you're looking at a weather map, you're going to see a key, and the key lists all these different symbols that represent different parts of weather. So on this specific map, if there is a blue H, that's representing high pressure. So there's a lot of air pressure in that area. L would be low pressure. That red line with the semicircles, that is saying it's a warm front. And then the blue line with the triangles, that is a cold front. And we're going to go a little bit more into detail about what those are in the next few slides. But that is what the key is and what those symbols represent. So a front is a place that two different air masses meet. An air mass is a big area of space, and it all has the same weather throughout. So if I have a big mass of air right here that is really, really warm, maybe a little bit humid, and then I have another air mass here that is maybe cold air mass. When those two meet each other, it creates a front. And depending on what air is larger or what air takes over, that could either be a warm front or a cold front. Typically what happens when these two air masses meet is there's some kind of storm, a thunderstorm typically, but not always. It could just be a space where those air masses are meeting and only one of them will go up, one of them will go away, and that will take over the entire area. So again, these are the two symbols. If we have a red line with those semicircles, that is a warm front. And if we have a blue line with the triangles, that is a cold front. And again, that is a space that two different air masses are meeting each other. All right, so charts. We've learned to read charts in math and science, but I wanted to do a quick review. So you've got the titles up top. So these are the months right here: January, March, May, July, September, November. These are the different years we're talking about: 2006, 7, and 8. There's also always going to be a title of your chart. So this chart is telling us average monthly air temperatures at Albany Airport for 3 years. So if I wanted to know what the temperature was in 2006 in November, I would have to line up both of those things. So find 2006, find November, find where they meet, and you'll find it was 45 degrees. All right, on your own right now, I want you to try to find the average temperature of March 2007. So find March, find 2007, match them up, and you should have gotten 32. Okay, we'll try one more. I want you to find the average temperature of September 2008. So find September, find 2008, and then find where they cross. So 2008, September, should have got 64. Okay. Here's another example of a chart. Sometimes it doesn't tell you exactly what the numbers are. This is a bar chart, bar graph, which means you would have to figure it out on your own. So here's the amount of snowfall in inches on the left. It goes from 0 to 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. So if this is 20 and this is 0, I need to ask myself, what number is right in between 0 and 20? What is this counting by? And if I take 20 and I split it in half, I'm going to get 10, which means that every one of these lines is worth 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. All right, so let's find the amount of snowfall in, let's do Albany first. So I'm going to find Albany here. These are the cities. Count up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 inches in Albany. Okay, now Binghamton, do the same thing, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I can also tell by just finding the top, coming over here, and then looking at the numbers. So if it's in between 60 and 80, I know that it has to be 70. All right, now Rochester is a little bit trickier because it's in between two of these numbers. So if this is in between 100 and 110, go ahead and think in your head right now, what number is right in between 100 and 110? So 100, 110, what comes right in between? It's got to be counting by fives, right? So that would be 105 inches. All right, let's go over these questions real quick, and then I will let you go. All right, so you're going to answer these couple questions that were on the slideshow in this video. You're going to tell me, what does the key on a weather map tell you? Does it tell you what the symbols on the map mean, what today's temperature is, where mountains are located, or how to predict the weather? The key. The second one, I want to know, what does this blue line with the triangles represent? A warm front, a cold front, a thunderstorm, or rain? And I want to know the definition of a front. So is a front the beginning of a storm, an area of very high winds, an area that has nice weather, or a place where two air masses meet? All right. Then you're going to use these maps and charts to answer the questions below. So using this weather map right here that we talked about earlier, I want to know which city has precipitation happening. So you're going to look at each of these cities. El Paso, is there any precipitation here? Houston, is there any precipitation here? Go through each one and you're looking for the symbol that has precipitation. Same with this one. Which one has a cold front approaching? And just a reminder, the triangles or circles are pointing in the direction that it's moving. So whichever way these shapes are facing, that's the way that the front is moving. So in this one, this guy's got to be moving this way because that's the way that the triangles are pointed. This front's moving this way because that's the way the circles are pointed. So go ahead and tell me which one has a cold front coming towards it, approaching it. All right, and we already went over this chart right here. So you're going to tell me which city has the highest amount of snowfall. I want you to tell me what is the difference of snowfall. We know that difference is a special math word that tells us to do something. So remember, what does difference mean? And then I want to know, what is the amount of snowfall in Binghamton and Buffalo? All right, so we're bringing in some math skills today, bringing in some chart and graph skills today. So I hope you guys have a good day. If you have any questions on science or any other subject, please use that Zoom schedule. Reach out to your teacher on Google Classroom or Dojo. We are here for you. We miss you, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye, Adams.